this is Dick Gregory and you're watching Reelblack. I said, this is Dick Gregory and you are watching Reelblack, black. And so to get back to your question of looking at stuff, Rodney King. And I called Ralph in from Europe. I said, man, I just need you to check something. I didn't see nothing behind it. I said, I got a problem with two white folks, first time they ever been into America, and they just happened to check in the hotel where this beating's taking place. So 3 days later he called me and said, we need to get out of here. I said, you know it was two other people in the car with him. I said, yeah. He said, they died mysteriously. And he said the weird part about it, Rodney King had been sentenced by a judge in LA to 8 years in jail, and we can't figure out why he was out in the street 3 weeks later. I said, let's move. Let's move. And then I started seeing, we checked the two people from Australia, heavily connected to the secret police in Australia, heavily connected to the CIA. How do you, with your camera, never been in a country before, film it, they didn't know to take it, where 7 o'clock LA time is running all over the world? How do you know that?
Yeah, but I mean, with the King thing, it was the verdict. It wasn't the tape.
You're not hearing me. You're not hearing me. See, the problem is you trying to talk with your shit and you don't know nothing instead of listening. Huh?
I'm listening.
Okay? No. I get $40,000, man, and I dare a motherfucker to talk. You went to college. You didn't talk when the professor was talking.
Okay, I apologize.
Because you bring... No, you don't apologize to me. I knew that when you come in here. I let you in because you'd have said New York Times, I'd have let you in. I've said anybody come in here. And normally I don't do these interviews. I do the bullshit shit you want to hear and let you leave.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm listening. You got me tuned in. I'm tuned in.
Okay. So what was the question you just asked?
No, my question was, like, the videotape, the existence of the videotape was the fuse. But what sparked it was the verdict.
That I know that more than you.
Okay.
Huh? I know that more than you.
Okay.
What they didn't tell you, what they didn't tell you is just read what paper that is so you can hear you on the camera.
Okay.
On the side.
New York Times, May 10th, 1992.
Okay, what's the headline say?
Los Angeles police differ sharply with prosecutors on arrest totals.
Now read the first sentence.
Reflecting confusion that has characterized the city's response to violence.
Okay, now go down to where you see I got that marked.
Police officials said today...
Slow, so my grandmother's listening.
All right. Police officials said today they arrested 18,000 people from Wednesday night, April 29th, the day the riots began, through this morning. But prosecutors said that they could not account for as many as 10,000.
That's arguing, stealing. You think it was something else. These ain't black folks talking. These are cops talking. And the prosecutor talking. Now read that sentence right but after that and listen what Han says.
We don't know where these people are.
Wait a minute now, this is what I say. We don't know where these people are,
said James K. Hahn, the Los Angeles city attorney.
He's the mayor now. See how the payoff comes?
It's a mystery now to a lot of people in the system right now.
Okay, that's all. That's my job.
Okay.
Huh? That's my job. And I usually don't share it with people. Because like I told you before, my mama hear the shit I be saying she called police on me. Huh? And so that's what I'm telling you now. So about 6 months ago, I'm in LA and Carl Nelson, who invented on the Stevie Wonder station, he invented the morning show. The biggest show in LA, talk show. And so then he left and went to Florida. So now he's back out there celebrating the 20th anniversary of that show. So I go on Friday, just talking, and I was out there for something. And he said, Dick, you be here Monday, you ought to come in. I'm interviewing Rodney King, he got a new book coming out, so you better do it quick, because he be dead before the week's over.
Wow.
Okay. How did I know? Because I got the information. The woman in the house where he died, his girlfriend, she was one of the jewelers when he got that $3 million kick out. Okay. And the neighbors said they heard screaming and hollering. They said, you say he just drowned. A brother who can't swim don't put no swimming pool in his house. And so what I'm saying is when you know this, you can smell it. And then you see it.
Right.
And so you look at it, and then I pushed the right button. I was in, you had a brother here in Philly that had a health product. So Father Clemens came to me and said, man, you ought to be part of this. I said, no, man. It's nothing aid. They heal anything.
Right.
So when the sniper was out there in D.C., he's one of the brother from Philly that was killed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He just went.
Ken.
Huh?
Ken.
Bridges.
Ken Bridges, yes.
He just went to North Carolina to talk to the black hair product guy.
Yeah, he had a group.
Yeah.
I forgot the name
Yeah.
of the group, but Ken Bridges.
And so.
My tie.
Yeah, my time. So he got a $100 million bridge loan, and he was going to buy 85%. 85% of the. She was in British Columbia,
Okay.
Guyana.
Okay.
Pow! That's when he put the hit on him. Because if you look at that route, he came back. That's not the route you come back to Philly from North Carolina. You see it.
Wow.
Then you look at the guy, you remember the head of that whole investigation of the sniper? Was a black sheriff. Moose.
Yes.
In D.C. Yeah, PG
No, outside, Montgomery County.
Montgomery County.
So they made the hit in Montgomery County so he could take over the whole thing. Moose, and then they eventually, John Muhammad. Him and John Muhammad was in the same National Guard unit in Portland, Oregon.
Wow.
Now, the reason that's important, ain't that many Negroes in Portland, Oregon. How could you forget that? Huh? See how it works? And he was the one telling the FBI agency, just look for a white man. Everything you heard, every witness said it was a white man in a white pickup truck. They investigate 2 black folks in a raggedy car that sleep on a parking lot after they bought them some Church's chicken. They kidnapped both of them 6 months before and put them in a warehouse and let them go. We ain't heard none of them talk. None of them talk. So this is the game. When you look at the September the 11th, we're the only country that when we give you the date, we give you October the 12th, September. And so why they come up with 911? That's the emergency call. So anytime you say it, you tell your brain to be scared. That's where they are. That's how close, how much research they've done, right? So I'm in New York, September the 10th, September 11th. So I called my wife. I said, well, you got me sleeping tonight. She said, you're not. Your friend called from Paris and said, don't spend the night in New York tonight.
Wow.
I get on a train, go to D.C. I get there at 4 o'clock. I call the dude in Paris. How you know I was in New York? Punk. Said, we picked you up on the satellite, brother. So then I go walk and I come back and the other one then went down. I called back. He said, you owe me one, punk.
Wow.
See, this is how it works. It's a club.
Yeah.
Huh? Y'all go places, y'all see stuff, and you know when it's been spliced, and when it's not spliced, you know it's been tampered with. I do the same thing with the whole human thing. I've been out here so long and had the money to bring in the top people. I need you to look at this. Look at this. I had Steve Jack. I said, I need you to find me the #1 authority on breast milk. I sit around and look for shit to do, man. Because I had the money. #1 authority on breast milk. So he comes back and he said, it's 2 people. Oxford University, both of them's equal. I said, well, $2 million a piece. He said, and when you know they men, see how it works? The #1 authority on breast milk is a man. So I bring him in, take him to a black hospital, Flint Goodrich down in New Orleans. So they keep saying to me, why are you giving us this money to do this? What you looking for? I said, I don't know if I was looking for it. I wouldn't have you here. I don't know what I'm looking for. You think I'm that stupid? I pay you this money to find something that I know? What I found out, man, was mind-boggling. You got a child.
Yes.
When your wife would be nursing the baby, the other breast would leak. That's not milk. That's all the impurities. If she smoked, that's nicotine. If she drank, that's alcohol. If she work in a place where people smoke, all the chemicals that's in the food, that leaks out so the baby can't get it. Wow. So we going every day to that. What you looking for? So I didn't know. So as they was leaving, I said, here's what I'm looking for. My mother's mother fed. She was the nanny for white women. You all got enough sense to know what's in milk. Milk was for humans. You don't give a kitten dog milk. Yeah. I said the #1 cause, the only cause of crib death is cow's milk. If you took cow's milk and breast milk from a woman and put it in a glass, you'd have to add 300 times more water with cow's milk to make it look like mother's milk, because the #1 important ingredient in milk is not calcium. You get more calcium eating a piece of newspaper. And so cow's milk, the #1 thing in milk is called casein. Casein makes the bone strong. So cows have enough casein to make the cow enough bone strength to deal with 1,000 pounds or more. Mother's milk just enough for a maximum of 175 pounds. So when you drink cow's milk with that casein, it becomes glue and shuts it down, and some folk in there, they die in the crib, and they call it crib death. That means we don't know what causes it. That's what every nation on the planet that would never be stupid enough to give their child cow's milk, that would never had crib death. Only the countries in the world give cow's milk. Crib death. So I know I just put that in my files here, but I was looking to say, because I know milk, I know more about it than you all do. I say, how long can my mama's nurse white children before y'all become niggas? That's what I'm looking for. That's all. About 15 years later, they said, thank you for what we learned. So we got back here and got a $50 million grant from the government to pursue your question. And I'm calling you now to tell you it's happened. So just listen to the white children. Watch the styles change. What used to look like you looks like me now. Listen to the music, how loud they play the music in the whole scene. 2 million people come out in the field to get some guitars. So I've been doing this. And so what I'm saying is when you sit and look at September the 11th, them folks, they say did that, never flew a plane in their life. They say they just was, they learned how to simulate this and all that. Right? And here's a paper here, say flight school owned by Warren Buffett that they went to.
Yes.
So he a thug and a dog and a tramp. Flight school owned by Warren Buffett.
That's right. And they only asked to learn how to fly the plane, not land it.
Yeah, you hear it?
Yes.
That's what he said. Huh? That's what he said.
Yeah.
See, that's another trick. Why would I go? You know the guy on the plane that crashed right here by Pittsburgh? When he called his mama? You know, calling on the plane. Hey, Mom, this is Dick Brown. You never give your first and last name to your mother. See, they always mess up because they're so stupid. Hi, Mom.
You're right. No.
Richard, you gonna give your first and last name to your mother, huh? And then you look over here, and it says, flight school says FBI trained suspects prior to hijack. FBI. See here? Yeah. So everybody is walking through this maze and the game. So you just look at all the papers, and then you say, okay, then I got people I can talk to. So let's go back to Trayvon. Hoodies. More white folk wear hoodies than black folks. Go on college campus. The girls wearing, boys wearing. So I went out and bought me one. So they said he went to the 7-Eleven. All 7-Elevens have film. How come we never saw a film of him going in there or coming out? And not till I mentioned it, I'm one of the most powerful voices because Social Network didn't get me for free. So then they showed us some bullshit of him standing at the counter. Come on, y'all. They told us that he was looking, that Sunday was the Sunday of the All-Star basketball. So said he was looking at the All-Star game and doing halftime. He ran to, well, we all do that. Run down, fix your ham and cheese sandwich, call somebody. Nobody better not call you while the Super Bowl is going on. But the minute it go into a commercial. So I said, okay, Ralph, I need you to do something for me. I need the time that he was killed. 7/17. Oh, why? The ball game didn't start till 8 o'clock. So how could he go during the halftime? That's what I'm looking at, not the other bullshit, because I know who they are. And I check out Zimmerman. Then we get into Michael. Zimmerman lived in an all-black neighborhood. And everybody we interviewed said he's one of the finest. Something ain't right about this. And for 4 days after he was killed, he was in the morgue as John Doe. You aware of that? John Doe. Okay. We're in a predominantly white town. So how many black folks you get there at that morgue? And sit there 4 days? Killed on Sunday. So, is that back on?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Do it say off? It's an off sign?
Yeah, it's on stop.
Yeah, it was strange.
And so
They don't want you to know. They don't want us to know the truth.
Yeah, but they didn't. My mama didn't want me to know the truth. She never told me about sex. So don't blame it on them.
Okay.
Huh? Oh, lots of things she didn't want me to know about. She didn't want me to know about Islam. That started at home. And so what happens is Monday morning, kill Sunday. 5 cops, they've all been fired. And chaplain came by the house where his daddy was living with his girlfriend and brought him a picture. And he identified him on Monday, but he still laid in that morgue for 3 days. As a John Doe. Mama calling the police station, they got him listed as a missing person. 3 days. And then you ask yourself a question. There's something ain't right about this. So the undertaker from Miami, where the son lived, came and picked up the body. Now put a pin there, because you know about that youngster in Valdosta, Georgia, where they found him wrapped up in this. The same undertaker handled his body. Oh, from Florida? All the black undertakers we have, we still got them because white folks wouldn't handle you. You come all the way from there to get the body, and the organs is missing. What about Trayvon's organs? It's a game. You drive by. You know any black cops in?
Oh, do I? Yeah.
Then ask them, when they go to a drive-by, 98% of them headshots. You can't be in a car driving and hit me in the head, man. Huh? And then, look at this. If the 3 of us are just a bunch of hoodlums and thugs and just foul-minded and evil and nasty, so we just go in the black community and just shoot black folks. How come they ain't shooting women? Where'd they get their integrity? Men's organs sell for more than women's. In China, before the #1 sell, organs outsell prostitution, drugs, and counterfeit money. That's the #1 money maker on the planet. #1.
Well, now you got me want to ask you about the prison industrial complex.
No, wait, you don't need
stay here?
No, wait.
Okay.
China, before organs, if they brought you before the firing squad, they shoot you in your heart. Now they shoot you in the head and harvest everything down. It's the big money maker. And then I asked another question. As hip as America is, with all of its technology, we do shit that would make German and them Nazis look like wimps. Do you think 30 members from the KGB could hook up with 30 members of British intelligence, could hook up with 30 members of French intelligence and slip in this country with all the stuff we got? Then how you gonna let them tell you that in 3 weeks, 65,000 little children from South America, little tots, can't read or write, come in this country and we didn't know it? That's organ stealing, man. Huh? Just ask yourself a question. Huh? President say, now, all you got to do is track them. You can't track them. You have any children?
I do not, he does.
Okay, then you understand motherhood, not fatherhood. Motherhood. Huh? No mother is going to take her child to some pimps that they say call $5,000. Where do you get that $5,000? Where do you get that kind of money? Huh? Where do they get that kind of money? To pay some bad people. No mother's going to trust her child with a thug and let that child go by itself. That's man stuff. And when they say they send them back, how do we know? How do we know they sent them back?
It's a good question.
And so when you stop and think about Rodney King, go back and, especially the business you're in, this week pull that film of that beating. and you see something incredible, that's lighted like a Hollywood movie. Look at the movie The Pirate. Well, every pirate I've seen in the movie was white. And all of them had a patch and a peg leg. And they show this movie here, and this brother ain't got no, they won't even let you, even when you acting like what they say the pirate was, you know. But my problem with the pirate was that whole thing over there in Africa. I said, wait, something ain't right about this. Something is not right about this. What is it?
Are you talking about Captain Phillips?
Yeah. But I'm talking about before.
Okay.
When it first hit.
Mm-hmm.
That little country them black folk came out of, they don't have 5 rowboats. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But they gonna attack the mightiest navies in the world? Come on, y'all. Huh? Are you crazy? They ain't got 5 rowboats. Huh? Then almost they make a movie out of it. That's how they just keep putting it in. Then they make you think it's going to get a top. One of their top actors to do is bullshit. Huh? One of them tankers had 100 million gallons of oil. So I'm on TV doing one of them TV shows, and I said, wait a minute. I can handle that for you. Give it to them. Ain't a black man on this planet that know how to sell 100 million gallons of oil that's been stolen. Huh? So then all at once, you sit and you look, and then it stopped. It stopped.
That's
Right there, where that was coming from, there's one of the most evil, vicious Navy bases in the history of the planet. They do stuff that would make Hitler look like Santa Claus. Diego Garcia.
So...
Wait.
Sorry.
Diego Garcia. That's where that first Malaysian plane is. That's where it landed. It had 4 scientists on it. Huh? 20 scientists, but 4 had filed for patents. It was Malaysia, but they worked out of Austin, Texas for Texas Instrument. All right. And the ones behind that plane was Texas Instrument, the government, and Boeing, who made the plane. And everybody is stupid enough to believe that a plane almost a block long can just disappear. With the electronics we have, all the technology we have, the next generation of cars will come out, there'll be no driver. So when I was talking to this scientist about it, I said, well, that paddy wagons too. He said, yeah, why you ask that? I said, well, there's just more room to put riders. No, that's where we are. About 10 years ago, I'm with a scientist, and he's saying to me, he said, you know, the smart car, when it come out, there can be no more automobile fatalities. I said, why you gonna mess with me, man? They been had that. Why you think airplanes don't run into one another? Huh? I used to do that when I was a child. I used to play with them little, what's those?
Magnets?
Magnets. And if you don't put them right, they can't hit. That's all y'all done. And they want to come convince me that y'all breathing. You're not. That's been here. Okay? And so when you stop and think about, you know, the stuff. So we got 4 of those top scientists that had filed for patents worth $400 billion. Okay? So if 1, 2, 3 of us and your brother, 4, we filed for patents. And then here's a friend of yours who's with us. So 5 of us filed for patents. If we die before the patent is granted, then your brother, who wasn't on the plane with us, he owns them all. So those 4 scientists, and the 5th person was the Carlyle Group. They own them all now. The patent was granted 3 days after the plane was missing.
Wow.
Okay, and so what I'm saying is, this is the game, and if you can't follow that thread, then you don't see it.
That's crazy.
What were the patents for?
Huh?
What were the patents for?
one of the patents was, you heard people talk about they're gonna one day inject you and can control you. Well, these guys come up with something, they don't have to inject you, they just put it in this room and you come in and you smell it. That's what they were for.
Okay.
And that's why they killed them.
That's
They might have not killed them, they might just let them sit there and die. I was the first Negro in the history of America to run for president of the United States. Now, if that's wrong, then tell me who ran before me.
I couldn't tell you. 1968.
Jesse Jackson,
Barely-
Shirley Chisholm.
Yeah.
They didn't run for president, they ran in the primary. If you don't win the primary, then you cannot run.
Right.
I was in the race, the only Negro in the history of America that ran for president of the United States. I ran as a write-in. And so had Obama not won, I'd still been the only Negro that ran. So a funny thing happened that night. That was 1968. I ran. November the 4th. This article ran 4 days later. You see the date on that, November the what?
November 7, 1968.
In what newspaper?
Page 6 of the Wall Street Journal.
Okay, now listen to me now. This didn't run in no other paper. So y'all want to understand about this country, you see. Wall Street Journal, one of the most respected papers in the world by fools. Now read the headline.
Election computer goofs gives Gregory 9 million votes.
Now stop there. Some white folks, against my better judgment, fought to put me on the ballot. In Pennsylvania. So when the election polls was closed, Pewter gave me 9 million. Election Center set it down and said the projected president of the United States is Dick Gregory.
Wow.
That plurality cannot be overcome. Okay? This is your America. What they meant to do was plug that up to Nixon, and somebody goofed.
So your vote is not a vote.
Listen to me now.
All right.
That's what shapeshifter means when you know who you are. Now, read that first paragraph.
Right.
The first.
Some machines just aren't to be believed. Take the big computer in New York that was designed to compile results of Tuesday's general election. At one point early yesterday morning, the machine was crediting Dick Gregory, the comedian turned presidential candidate, with 9 million votes in Pennsylvania.
Now, see, they don't know, and the ones do know that they wouldn't say it. The fact that no other paper ran that. Then you know, okay. Go ahead, now listen to it. Now, go ahead.
This was just one of the scores of inaccurate and sometimes
You
astonishing
have to read no more. That's
returns.
it. Over there to your left, what did Walter Cronkite say up there?
CBS anchorman Walter Cronkite, after the errors were pointed out to him, apologized for not questioning the figures.
That's the
said,
bullshit
"Any
that comes in. Who was he to question a damn figure?
So was the computer wrong, or you got 9 million votes?
I got 9 million votes because they plugged it up wrong. They made a mistake and hooked it to my name. Okay? Instead of Nixon's name.
Okay.
Right.
So
And
it was a
showing
good.
how they were doing that all the way back in 1968.
Huh? You what?
They've been doing this.
Showed how they were fixing the election.
No, man. Since day one. Come on. You serious? They was doing it before they had what they would do when I ran for mayor of Chicago. White boy and the brother came to me and offered me $500,000, not to get out the race, but to get on the ballot. I said, well, I got to get a petition. Said, no, we already got that. And so the white boy said to the brother, give me my $100. And I said, what's that about? He said, this is your brother. He betted me $100 you take the money, and I bet him you wouldn't. And the brother was so embarrassed. He winked at me and said, this boy everybody hooked up at after midnight. He said, I'll meet you out there and show you something. So I go out. He said, what was going to happen if you open up the well, let me ask you this here. Y'all registered to vote?
Yeah.
So in the last 4 years, how many times did you have the opportunity to vote in the last 4 years?
6 times.
6 times in 4 years. So if you had an automobile in 4 years, you use it 6 times, then the garage where you keep it determine what kind of ride you're gonna have, not you. The same thing about a voting machine. So here's what they do.
Okay.
He said, you on line 5, Dale is on line 4. So we take this wire and hook it around 5, so every time somebody pulls forward, it registers for Dale. That's how they do it, okay? That's it.
Yeah.
That's how they do it. That's simple. They've been doing that for years. You know? And so somewhere, that's how they do it. And
Not impartial.
and so anyway, what's some more questions you want, and then we out of here. When you get home, they'll punch up your computer and the truth about your Social Security. You know about that? All Social Securities is owned by the Vatican.
Well, I heard when
Not Social Security, birth certificate by the Vatican, traded every day on the New York Stock Exchange.
Right. When you get your child's Social Security number, you sign them into the corporation.
That's right.
Of America.
That's right.
So as long as you don't get them.
And then also, then the other piece, you know, London is not part of Britain. And so just when you punch it up, the truth about London, in order for Queen Elizabeth to go to London, she got to get permission from the Lord Mayor to give it to her. She got to come dressed as a servant through the temple gate, and they back there dressed like devils. It's a whole, you know. So I just say, God, thank you, because it's too hard to teach black folks with all the stuff they got in their head. You can't get the misinformation out.
Right.
So here it comes down the chute. And that's what when the Fifth Dimensions did the song, The Dawning of the Age of that white boy knew it would be 15 years. That's why it was called The Dawning of the Age of Aquarius. So Aquarius came in May the 5th, the year 2000. That meant darkness is over. That represents men and all the wrong stuff. Now lightness is here, so women, it's their turn now. You see, at one time it wasn't nobody on this planet but women, okay? And they fucked up. And so here we here. So if I'm married to your mother, she's married to me, and we drug addicts, then there's a possibility you be born a drug addict. So that's what happened to them. They fucked up so bad they degenerated till they produced men, and that they paid a hell of a price.
Yeah. I heard it was matriarchal society, and then
Yeah.
they let the men rule at one point, and then like you said, it just got so jacked up. You know, but they don't want to relinquish power. When
They don't have
power,
to. They don't have to, man. You had it for 6,000 years. You don't even know it. You don't even know why you're here. The one thing you got to ask yourself, and you see how vicious this is. When the greatest human specimens, they didn't produce Muhammad Ali during the Roman Empire. Look at him. And the white boys, they never said they was gonna kill him. They said, we're gonna shut your what? Didn't they?
Yeah, he can't talk.
Didn't they? See, that's the ones I hang out with. Can't talk. Did y'all see the basketball finals?
Yeah.
You see when LeBron fell on the floor? They say he had cramps?
Yeah.
You ever had cramps in bed?
Yes.
Don't you have to get up and walk?
Yeah.
You don't lay down with cramps. That was throwing the games. See how it works? This is something you know. You jump off that bed and keep moving until they leave. And then as good an athletes, and how come none of the other athletes had cramps? Since the air conditioning was off. See how it works? And so y'all go to Philadelphia, and they took a little fat, chubby white boy and did a thing called, what was the name of the movie, the fight movie? Rocky. And you go all over the world, who's the greatest fighter that ever lived? They say Rocky, not Muhammad Ali. See how it works?
Fictional character.
That works.
Right. Well, we talk about that.
See, they don't know it's a fictional character. All they know is Rocky.
Right.
And then right here in this town, you had a great fighter that lived like 2 miles from here. The black guy, what's his name?
Larry Holmes and Joe Frazier.
No, Joe Frazier, Larry Holmes. Joe Frazier. But ain't no statue of him up them steps.
We're working on that.
No, you ain't. No. Trust me. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. You bucking something bigger than you know. Put it someplace else. Put it someplace else. Okay. You're not doing. See, that's where we come through. We think we. Martin Luther King, $200 million statue on the mall, and you think you had something to do with it? He left here, he was the most hated man in the world. How can you hate me outside of here unless America's feeding that? And now he's the most beloved. Because they finding out some stuff about they didn't know. They have, before they had the FBI and the CIA, it was Army Intelligence. Army Intelligence have been spying on the King family for 105 years, and you think this shit just started? They knew who he was when we didn't. Huh? Grandfather, granddaddy, him. And they use U-2 planes on King. See how it works?
Yeah, so we'll talk about Barack then.
Huh?
Barack and his bloodline.
No. We don't need to talk about Barack if you just read that.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay. The fix was in.
Well, see, when you keep pushing, it gets to gossip.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You read it.
I read it. Okay, I'm sorry.
Not in Jet magazine. Huh?
I'm just trying to overstand.
No, you can't back. I'm not here to teach you.
Okay.
I'm here to give you information.
Okay.
Okay? To give to other people. That's all I'm telling you. You read it. That's why I gave it to you. And a lot of stuff I knew I wouldn't give it to people because if I show it to you on the internet and white folks told you, you'd believe it. And you say you wouldn't, but no, I know. I've been a black person longer than most of y'all. So I know what I did. I know what I did. And I know what I had to do to get out of it. And right now, I got to go to Europe next week. My first class round trip ticket cost me $27,000. The tax on it. Go to this government. They buy bombs and poison to drop on people all over the world and children. So when they fall on my children, the difference between me and most of y'all, I'm honest enough to say, well, it took you so long, I'm part of the fucking filth. Every time you buy a loaf of bread, you feed into this nastiness. So what make think you so clean, huh? I got 10 children. 10 children. I never had a affair with my wife to create gods, another god. I just give me some pussy, man. So how filthy am I? When I look in the mirror, I see who I am. I never owned a car. I didn't know the year, the make, the model, the down payment, the trade-in, the license I had to pay for. When I look at me, and I know I put more research on owning a car than creating God's new life. So who in the fuck am I? At least I get nothing unless I'm honest when I say God. I know it's coming, but just let me sit up on the mountain with some binoculars and watch them. Watch them. Just, and then come on get me, but you know. When they said I had the worst form of cancer, y'all know I had the worst form of cancer you can have.
I read about it.
So Uncle Tom, my son's a school teacher, I said, son, we need somebody in the family that understands God's body. The U.S. Capitol used to be here. Have you ever asked yourself, well, if y'all gonna move it, why you just move it 90 miles? Why don't you just leave it here? Why you just move it 90 miles? Because if you understand astronomy, all this town, everything gonna be destroyed when the sun explodes. Except St. Louis, Kansas City, Washington, D.C. area, most of Atlanta, most of Georgia, and most of North Carolina. That's why all the military bases is put there. They know what we got to do is astronomy. You can look at astronomy and go back a million years this way, a million years this way, and you see what happened. You know, that's a game. And so consequently, he don't know, or he knows that's why he's getting out of here. Okay? And probably the next president could be black. Next election. See, the Republicans always have to put a black person in, but this one they ain't ready for. And what's his name? Herman Cain. Why you do that? No, I'm asking you for a reason.
Because I understand he's the head of the restaurant.
No, why were you shaking your head?
But I'm saying if he were to get in, it would just be...
He's one of the brilliant minds on the planet. He was chairman of the Kansas City Federal Reserve. Huh? And when I saw him with these buckwheat speaks, I said, oh, here you go. Here you go. If you know how rich I am and see me out there in some raggedy clothes, when I leave and go and see the homeless, all I got to do is look at your damn shoes. They forget to take off them $400 pair of shoes. Okay? So this is a game, man. It's a game. And then once you see it, then know it, and see it, and I pray every day forgiveness, man, because I had this power before I knew it. I could have killed some folks and not even known it. That's what anger is, and filth is. Anger. Every time you have a sexual discharge out of your prostate, see, your sperms live at a body temperature 2 degrees below your body temperature. That's why the old folks used to call it 2 below. The temperature. So they didn't need this and that. All they do is put some ice on their nuts and they couldn't get your sister pregnant because the sperms would be killed. That's why in the summertime you see men walk. You see baseball players, they don't want to play. You see baseball players out there, they do that. Baseball players, they do that and then do that. That's the testicles. The body's heating up. Okay? Why do you think fantastic athletes can't produce fantastic son athletes? Because of the jock strap. That's why the Arabs always wore the pants that hung down, where the testicles could move down and up. And for years, truck drivers couldn't have babies because the motor, the engine was right under the seat. Their nuts would get too hot, huh? Hear how it work?
You were talking mathematics a few minutes ago.
Yeah, but here, watch this now.
Outstanding.
In my testicles, every time I have a discharge, 500 million sperms come out. And the prostate have to give them the electrical charge. That's why we got so much prostate cancer, because I'm trying to get my manhood through my dick. That's why I call it good pussy. Through my dick. And the universal God. See, here's how you find out the universal God. I teach this to my grandchildren. The dinosaur left this planet 2 billion years ago. You know that. There was no church. There was no Christianity. If my mother was alive and walked in here now, you think God would just spit her out? She's so precious and nice and godly. But if you tried to explain to my mother Jesus Christ wasn't a Christian, she'd stomp your ass to death, because her ignorance didn't build her to know that Christianity never happened to 300 years after Jesus Christ was dead. Mama. I didn't learn until I was a grown man that the cross, they didn't invent that for Jesus. The Roman was using that 1,000 years before he was born. It was special. You know, they beheaded folks, hanged folks. The the cross was for revolutionists. And so if you and your mother and your father was walking down the street, no, I had no cars, none of that. Huh? You didn't travel within 6 miles from where you was born. Where were you going? Everything was the same. Trees, mountains. So as you walk with your mother and father going to the mill to get some wheat to bake some bread, you saw these folks up on the cross. So your mother, you said, what's that? They said, oh, those are bad people. They was trying to do something to the government. So the cross represented revolutions. So you would never want to be a revolutionist. So the problem with that story is Jesus was a revolutionist. What was them two thieves doing up there? Caught you.
Earlier, you spoke about there's a new generation that's not going to listen to what we were told.
Yeah.
And they're fearless. And I kind of feel that way. How do we activate or educate them to direct that fearlessness?
You're a fool. I'm a fool.
Okay.
You can't. You can't.
But I mean, to direct that energy.
There you go. I got to override your ignorance now.
Okay.
I got a cousin, Muslim. I said, Merry Christmas. He said, man, I don't celebrate no whitey Christmas holiday. I said, brother, let me tell you, anytime you in America and Christmas fall on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, your bank closed, you celebrate. Okay, this is a game we play.
Right.
I go to church and see my black minister, and right behind him is a white Jesus. I go to the Muslim church and I see my brother Elijah Muhammad, and right behind him is a white boy named Farad. I see the same thing. Is that scary? I see the same thing. The same thing. Oh, the Bible, man. I read it. I like certain parts of it. I like David, King David. Now, what I'm telling you now is not in Hustler magazine, it's in the Bible. David looked across the balcony and saw that man's wife and sent for her. This in the Bible. They just say words and get up, but he pleasured her. Then he get her pregnant. You know the story. And he sends for her husband so she can get black. I learned that out of the Bible. They got shot. He said he didn't have nothing to do with me because while his men was down on the front line fighting, he didn't want pleasure. So David in the Bible killed her husband. Not Hustler magazine. My mother didn't know that King James was King of England. She just thought God sent him here to write this. She didn't know King James was such a weird, strange homosexual. He hated women so bad he killed his mother, and his lover was Buckingham Palace. Who Buckingham? His name was his lover was Lord Buckingham, who Buckingham Palace is named after. Oh, come on, y'all. But where do you go? Where do it go? You know. And so one day, I knew a woman in Chicago, black woman. She's dead, but we went to Philly and killed all the white folks in the Four Seasons. If I made a call to her before the police got there, you wouldn't go to jail. That's who we are. Mother Gibson. We are shapeshifters, and the real white folks had no that. Uncle Tom. When Harriet Beecher wrote Uncle Tom's Cabin. She knew who it was. Do you know that book translated into plays, and never before in the history of the planet have as many companies went around the world doing that play? When it got to Saigon, the king of Saigon said, if I give you the money, would you do a musical? And they did a musical called The King and I. That's Uncle Tom's Cabin. One of the big hits on Hollywood, big 2 years ago, was the Book of Mormons. That's Uncle Tom's Cabin. Ignorance is a bitch, ain't it? And when you break that little piece, you got so much more, but you're just satisfied there and keep your mouth shut, and the others will come to you. People will come to you. People out here know.
So just to clarify, who shapeshifters being black man or
Shapeshifters. I used to hear old black folks say, there's some folks over there in Africa that white folks ain't never messed with and never will. They can turn into gorillas and animals, and I just thought that meant they just strong. I didn't know they could do that. You know how you can sound like a cat, sound like a dog? We also have the power to turn into them. But we so over here and unviolated the whole universe so bad, man. Hair. I think here black people have bad hair and good hair. No, wait, my mama said God made them Negroes with bad hair and good hair. See, hair didn't come from Sears and Roebuck. So you think you love God so much, you think God made bad hair? It made good hair. And you still like him? No, your hair is to your body what a leaf is to a tree. And that whole process of photosynthesis. So when you cut it, I learned it because I spent some time on the Indian reservation fighting for some rights. Went to jail 9 months. And I noticed all the Indians in the tribe who never had haircuts. They didn't have mustache, beards, goatees, sideburns. The universal God said, you fool, but I'm so nice to you. When you do that, I'm going to let it grow back. Some boy, you think you shaved this morning, this evening, you got to shave again. That's the God talking to you, saying you're violating me. Now, if we cops, bulletproof vests won't keep us from getting shot, but it'll change the rhythm so we won't die. That's what nappy hair is. Because of your melanin, the sun cannot come in at the speed it comes in without running you crazy. So God twisted it so it got to go through them cars to slow up. Y'all coming in with these haircuts, and I know who you are when you come in. You don't know. Haircuts. It's a violation of God. So I know who I'm talking with. I know who I'm dealing with. I never would have got into this if we didn't go this way. That's what this is about. Why do you think when you take your son to the barber shop, they holler and cry? Why do you think when your wife comb your daughter's hair, they scream and holler? And when you really know who we are, is there is a God that say before I, your God, sit back and watch you reduce the dignity that I gave you for some white folks who you can get your rent paid and your hair and take care of you, because I will destroy you from the inside. And we are.
So where are we headed?
Heading?
Yeah.
It's over. It's over. You don't understand that because you got that mentality. You're not connected to that universal God. Right now, if I got it, kidney. Kidney dialysis machines. Black men is 4% of America's population. 4% of America's population. 82% of prostate cancer deaths is black men. And we don't take this camera and say, wait a minute, this is impossible. We got a country with almost 600 million people. And we, 4%. Black women, 6% of America's population. 98% of fibroid tumors is black women. It's your sister, your wife, your mother, and you don't have nothing to say, wait a minute, something ain't right about this. Something right about this, Why? Because you've been reduced down to that filth. 98% fibroid black women. The other, next highest percent is Jewish women. What Jewish women, black women got nappy hair. See how it works? That's the game.
connecting the dots here.
So if you go with your camera tomorrow to Philly and go by the dialysis machines, that's 90% black folk. What causes kidneys to break down? Fear, paranoia, anguish. Took me a long time to run somebody down. Was a Chinese scientist at the University of Chicago. Here's what caused it. Fear. You're scared. The white folks scared they're going to take my job. You know in your subconscious mind, a white boy can stop you leaving here and take your car, and there's a damn thing you can do about it. You can talk that black shit if you want to. Take your car. Condemn your house tonight and tell all y'all to get out. Tonight. You got a stop sign in front of your house. No black person can have that stop sign move. They can do it while y'all here and you go back to normal stop sign. Okay. That's who we live with, right? Fear, paranoia, and anguish. What cools us out? Awareness and gentleness. Awareness and gentleness. Liver. I used to hear the old folks when a black woman would die from cirrhosis. Oh, I didn't know she drank. 98% of people die from cirrhosis of the liver and never had to drink alcohol in their life. What causes cirrhosis of the liver? Anger, rage, and depression. You got to be depressed in a system like this if you're not crazy. Go to a nut house and look at them. They just so happy. That's what crazy is about. Not knowing. Not having to be responsible. They're just so happy. 90 years old. I had an aunt, 90 years old, looked like she was 15. Well, what cools the liver out? Kindness and balance. Look like if I just went to the black church. That's what they talk about. They don't know. More people in America die every year from lung cancer from grief than smoking cigarettes. And I used to hear them black folks, man, say she just grieving herself to death. She didn't know the breakdown, but you don't have to know the breakdown when you got that connection. Liver? Liver? Kindness and balance. Lung cancer. Grief. Sadness and shame. Shame on my hair, shame on my nose, shame on my lips. What cools it out? Courage, righteousness, love, and being lovable. I've been married 55 years because I told my wife we got married. My marriage was cool. I got her pregnant. So I didn't have to go through that mumbo-jumbo bullshit. I said, you love me, but if you want this to work, it's about can you be lovable? I love you, baby. If I can't have you, nobody can have you. Something like that. 79% of all married folks in America ends up in divorce. How long would it take you to know what it ain't about? Love. Can you be lovable? Lovable. It's a rhythm. It's a rhythm. Your baby would turn around in the crib, you'd straighten them up, right? We all supposed to sleep with our head north. The babies know that. And old dumb us, we fuck them up so they fucked up before they get in grade school. In the bed. You know, they never turned all the way around the bed. Right here. You're never supposed to eat two things at one time. That's why when you give a child a hot dog, they take the hot dog off the bun, they don't eat the hot dog, then eat the bun. When you sit there and they eat the french fries by itself, fuck up. Who are you? Ignorant motherfucker that is not recognized by the universal God. You part of it. Ain't no, well, I'm better than, no. The same God that made the Germans made the Jews. Not the church. The same God that made the slave master. What did I do to mess up? I'm over there taking God's body, putting bones in my nose and plates in my lip, and God said, okay, nigga, I'm gonna send you to the body messer up, and we still got a problem with our nose and our lips. That's how it works. So you can flush it out your genes. That's how it works. And so when you stop and think about where it's going be gone. When a woman gets 9 months pregnant, the baby gonna fall if it means death to the mother and the child. And take you a poor, black, ignorant, uneducated woman and an uneducated white woman and take all the armies in the world when that water bag breaks, see if they can keep the baby in her. So when I found out what I had, I went out and said me a little prayer. No bullshit prayer. Hey, champ, if this is your son and he keeps sending messages to you through me, don't that bother you? So why God need to send a message through a preacher? You hear me? What's that about? And so when you stop and think about, so I go talk to, hey, champ, I talk to God like I would my father. Hey, champ, boy, you really fucked up. Really fucked up. I know you're busy. I know you got a whole universe to run and all that shit. My mama think you can do that, but I know you probably tired and this slipped through. Let me tell you something, God. This is my prayer. It's a lot of niggas deserve cancer, but I'm not one of them. Now, if you need some help, I'll give you a list of 12 niggas. And if you want something close to the house, I can do that too. Then I looked in here. Said, cancer, this is my body. I didn't mess with you. I'm not gonna let you mess with me. You got 72 hours to get out of it. And after that, I'm gonna roll on you. I told you, he showed the thing, so he did it on the show. And 72 hours later, white Dr. Krishna called me and said, Gregory, I heard you on the show, man. Jim Edison talking about, said, there's some water in El Salvador. I wouldn't take care of that in 5 days. I went down 5 days, it's over. Gone. That's what's on this planet. Anything you got, that water will get rid of. That's simple. That's simple. But you got to be connected with the real one. Oh, here's what I want you to punch up. Punch up. Why a federal judge?
Why a federal judge?
Sealed all of Obama's college records for 75 years. Pepperdine, Harvard, University of Chicago, Columbia. Because he never went there, man. Motherfucker ain't never been to college in his life. That's what we're dealing with here.
Obama's classmate reveals why college records sealed. Federal judge slams Obama's capital attitude.
No, we don't have to go no further than that. You can read the rest of that shit.
Okay.
But if it wasn't in there, I wouldn't tell you, because niggas are so up here, you wouldn't believe me, but that white boy tell you believe me. I know that because I've been one. And still. That's what this shit is about, man. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome.